The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at a serious offshore performer, the Mako 334 center console. It comes in two versions, one geared more towards families and this one targeting sport fishing. Let's start by heading out and looking at the performance numbers. With a triple set of 350 horsepower joystick piloting Mercury Verados doing the heavy work, our test Mako 334cc reached a top speed of 56 knots at 6,300 RPM. With the throttles pulled back to 3,000 RPM, we were at our best economic cruise of 25.9 knots. That speed was accompanied by a fuel burn of 20.4 gallons per hour, which translated into a range of 350.2 nautical miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 306-gallon total fuel capacity. We reached planing speed in 4 seconds, accelerated to 20 in 4.9, and continued through 30 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds. The 334 has one undeniable trait, and that is the trademark good handling that seems to be consistent throughout the brand. She's very responsive to the helm and turns with good control authority, coming around a cruise in roughly 3 boat lengths. In normal turns, she'll roll roughly 15 degrees into the turn, but with the heavy-handed turns of a test captain, she will heel up to 30 degrees. A lot of that has to do with the weight of the tower well above the center of gravity, though. She still remains comfortable throughout. Of course, when testing an offshore boat such as this, we were stuck with flat, calm water, but crossing in the wakes of the camera boat and some larger yachts passing by showed no tendency to pound, and indeed, the 334 produced a clean slice through the waves with spray kept low and wide. Try as we might, her wide-flared bow kept the ride dry and comfortable. She also had a solid feel to her handling, as if we could feel that the limits of her handling capabilities would be far out of reach except on the worst of what Mother Nature could dish out. With 4 feet of freeboard at the bow and 31 inches at the stern, this is a boat that we would have no hesitation making a long offshore run in, far from protected waters. And of course, the Mercury joystick allows for precision maneuvering into the dock, making this truly a boat that anyone can manage with no trouble whatsoever. So, now that we're back at the dock, let's take a look at her features. We'll begin at the transom, where we have a live well to starboard. In the center is a cutting surface with the first 4 of 16 rod holders just behind and drink holders to the sides. To port is a second 34-gallon pressurized and aerated live well with rounded edges, blue coloring, and interior lighting. The see-through lid is held open with friction hinges. Under the gunnels there's a compartment containing 2 spool holders with a knife holder in the door. Opposite is a tackle sorter with knife and tool holders. In the center is a transom bench, single width, easily deployed. The cockpit has 4 feet 9 inches by 8 feet of working room, and padded bolsters start at 20 inches and top out at 26. The entire deck is guttered to channel water into the dual deck drains on each side and overboard. In the deck, there's a pair of 292-quart fish boxes with piston assist lids, drain channels around the opening, a macerator with gulper pump, and overboard discharge. A lazarette box is in the center of the deck. Inside is a sea chest with 4 pumps that are continually under pressure, fueled by a high-speed water pickup. There are 2 bait well pumps, a backup bait well pump, and a raw water washdown pump. More storage is under the gunnels. A hull side door is to starboard. The rigging station is all about storage below and bait prep above. There's a built-in cooler, a sink plumbed to the 38-gallon water tank, and there's a flip lid converting to a cutting surface, ample counter space, a rail to the back with hook holders. Below is cargo storage with an accessory plug, tackle sorters, drawers on stainless sliders, and more storage to the sides. Looking ahead to the helm, there's a double-wide seat with individual bolsters and flip-up armrests. The seat is hinged to expose a cooler, but latches need to be released from both sides. It'd be easier with one latch. A flip-down footrest is optional. At the panel, there are 2 12-inch Garmin 7612 XSV combos that come standard, and the 24-inch Simrad package is optional. They're also connected to a C-Zone system controlling all the electrical systems, in addition to the stereo, satellite, and weather. Below are the push-button switches to the left. The controls for the auto engine trim and automatic trim tabs are to the right. Then the digital throttle and shift binnacle, the joystick, display controls, and the stereo. The ignitions are recessed to keep them out of the knee strike zone. Below is a molded footrest with toe space underneath. I'd like to see it positioned just a little higher. This boat is equipped with an optional, shorter 6.5-inch acrylic windshield. the standard glass windshield at 15 3/4 inches provides much more protection from wind and spray. The hardtop is standard and serves as a support for the tower helm. It includes powder-coated supports as standard. It's tournament rigged with spreader lights, 6 rod holders, and standard taco outriggers. Underneath, there's cargo net storage and electronics boxes. Steps to the side aid the transition up to the rear of the tower. Then a press of the button on the throttles transfers control to the upper station, and off you go. The upper station is a basic layout with a wireless VHF repeater to the left and a small nav display just ahead of the wheel. The panel also has the engine start-stops, auto trim tab controls, and auto trim feature for the engines that worked quite well. As for the helm console itself, there's an entry door to starboard leading to the head. A strap can hold it in the open position. Inside, there's overhead clearance of 6 feet 8 inches, including 5 feet 5 inches of sitting headroom. The toilet is plumbed to the same 38-gallon freshwater tank. To the aft bulkhead is a master distribution panel that can override any function of the boat. 2 panels lead to the back of the helm panel, and the ship's batteries are in the lower panel. The side decks are 20 inches at their narrowest. To each side, there's the usual rod storage under the gunnels, but what is unusual are these rubberized mats to protect the expensive reels and keep them from slamming into the hard fiberglass. Nice touch there. 2 hawse holes lead to a pair of midship cleats ahead of and behind the rod storage, and there's additional storage in the deck. As we make our way to the bow, the padded bolsters complete their 360-degree travel, and recessed rails add to the safety. Bulwark height increases here to 34.5 inches. A storage shelf is under the gunnels. In the center of the deck is a big old coffin box. The lid features a dual piston support system for ease of opening, plus an anti-collision cable. And here's a cool feature. At the push of a button, the box tilts to expose storage underneath. The box is macerated, but let's move the pickup for the drain to one side to make it easier to hose out in this position. Fully forward, there's access to road storage. At the foredeck, there's a waist-high access to the Profish windlass and the anchor mounted through the stem with a stainless steel breastplate behind. There's a cleat for securing the rode. The windlass can be controlled from the bow, the helm, or via the configurable key fob. Overall, we've got a well-built boat loaded with features. It handles well, and with its ability to come in either a family or fishing layout, it appeals to a wider audience. And that's my look at the 334 center console from Mako. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.